Hello everybody, this is Kay. Thank you for joining me here today on my channel, Gigi's Paper Treasures. I have a quick flip through of a journal I made kind of spontaneously. This is a Valentine's Day themed journal, and I haven't done one before. I simply haven't really gotten inspired in the past to do one. But I came across this gift bag, which is what the cover is. This was a gift bag, and I've been doing like a purging of my home since the new year. I kind of do that once or twice a year, just kind of go through all my closets and everything and kind of get rid of stuff. And I came across this gift bag, and it just kind of stood out to me as a good cover possibility for a Valentine journal with the gold and the sparkle and the roses. And so I just kind of took it from there and decided to make a Valentine's Day themed journal for the first time ever. So I'm going to walk you through that real quick, and I will be posting this up on my Etsy shop. If you're interested, I'll put the link to my shop in the description box below so you can hop over there and take a look. But what I've used here, like I said, the cover was a gift bag to begin with. I kind of had to disassemble it and trim some parts off. And then I added a digital here, and I've used some foam tape to kind of lift it up so it kind of has a 3D look to it. But I did some embossing on it. I'm kind of tilting it so you can see that shine that I put around the roses and here and there on the digital. And an embossed piece of scrapbook paper and some cheesecloth, and that makes the focal point for the cover. The tie here is running kind of under the focal point, is part of a placemat, and that's what I used to make the closure, and this ruffle up on top as well, as that's what I lined the inside of the journal with. I found this lovely, just kind of cream colored and metallic gold placemat at a thrift store, and that's what I used to do all this with. So that's the front cover. This was just, I took this to my sewing machine. I had a strip left over, and I did a gathering stitch and used that there. I used another one of the digitals on the back to kind of help secure the closure on the back. Now I had a line running up and down here that I wanted to cover, and that's why I put this strip of this gold metallic ribbon. And I've also used little flat back gemstones here and there on the back and on the front, just to kind of add a little bit of more dimension to the cover. Now this is a very simple journal. It's just one signature. I've used 20 or 25 pages of some high quality but plain white resume type paper for the signature. And I just bound it in with the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So on the inside of the front cover, I made kind of this double corner pocket. And I've got all kinds of ephemera, and this is just kind of a tall couple of tags here. And these I should probably mention, all the digitals that I used in this journal came from the Digital Collage Club, which is part of the website called Making and Creating. And I have a lifelong membership. So they have hundreds and hundreds of digitals that are available to me all the time. So I think it used to, when I became a member, I think it was right around $100 for a lifetime. Now you can just get a yearly membership if you want for less than that, but I'm not going to quote the price actually right now because I'm not sure if it's the same as when I joined. But it's a pretty good deal if you ask me, for lifelong access to hundreds and hundreds of digitals. So I have a corner pocket there with all of this really cool Valentine, adorable little cherubs and children, postcards and journaling spots. And then this is just some file folder scrap I had left over. And I stamped and punched out some little shapes to put on there. A couple of little cards in this little pocket so you can see. And I made this out of file folder as well for this double corner pocket. So that's the front cover. I used one of my little book plates for this, to personalize it. And I've got another one of those digitals kind of in the background there. And then I added this little ribbon and flat back heart, pink heart gem to embellish that a little bit. And then I left all the other pages in between there and the very middle plain. And in the very middle, I created kind of this double slant pocket thing on the middle, and I put a large tag in each one of those. This in the background is stenciling that I did with some red permanent ink there. And then I also used a couple of those postcard ephemera pieces to make little smaller pockets on the front of these two larger pockets, which I have some journaling spots tucked into there. Okay, and then it's plain again all the way to the back, inside of the back cover. And this little component I made with a die cut. It's a Tim Holtz die cut. I'm not sure what it's called, but it gives you multiple slots for tucking things into. And then I just made a label down here, some more of my stamping on the background there, and I put the word cherished. And another little punch out with a stamp on it there. And this is some parchment paper I had as a backing for all that. And then I just tucked in various little, cute little pieces of ephemera from the digitals that I got from the Digital Collage Club. And I left it, I glued it just on these three sides so that even though these things are going into different slots, you still have the whole depth of here. So other things can be, taller things could be added into here, but I didn't want to cover up my little decoration there at the top. And then on this, like I said, this closure and the inside and this ruffly piece all came from a placemat that I picked up at a thrift store. Thank you for watching my super quick flip through video today. And like I said, this will be available in my Etsy shop. If you want to hop over there and look at it, I'll put the link to that in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a blessed day.